In this video, I want to show and tell you everything about the new Notion skills update. Because skills got a major update, I will show you the things that you will miss because they are a bit hidden, how to use them and what you might do wrong. Besides that, I also want to show you some other updates you don't want to miss. For those who don't know me, my name is Leon and I've spent over 5,000 hours in Notion. Now in this video, I don't want to go into the basics of skills. I want to talk about the new update to skills. If you want to learn more about skills and how to properly set them up, watch this video that I will link you now here beforehand and then come back to this video. Otherwise, now let me show you an easier way to access only the skills and that faster. Now, just go in your personal agent here, and here you can now, instead of, for example, writing add, and then all the pages pop up, and on top you have this skills section. You can, besides that, now also write slash, and then here you have your skills. The next thing in regard to skills, before we go into the settings and also into the libraries tab, is I want to show you how to turn a database into a dedicated skills database. Previously, that was only possible for tasks. Now it's also possible for skills. As you can see here, I have an example database called skills, and I just have 2 skills in here and no properties. So we really have a basic skills database. Then what you could do is click on the settings here, go to more settings, go to turn into, and now we have the option to turn this into a skills database. If you click this similar to task, you have a new window, and here you have to have 3 properties. You need a text property for the description. You need a files property for whatever reason in my skills database on my main account, because this is just a demo account. Don't have a files property, and then you have a tags property, so a multi-select property. Now, if you selected those or you don't select them because you have no properties, these will automatically get created, as you will see in a second. And then besides that, we have 2 entries here, and we can say automatically enable these 2 skills for me. You will see this later in this video. So let's click on turn into skills database. And now this is a skills database, because if we click here, you can see it says undo skills database. Now let's go into the settings. Now here in the settings, now under Notion AI, we have this new skills tab. And here we have 4 things. The first thing, we will do this in a second, is open the library, because there is also a new tab. Then the second thing is disabling skills for the whole workspace and then all members. So there is no option such as skills allow them for only specific people, also you will disable this for everyone, also yourself. Now I don't know why someone would disable this, because I think skills are a very beneficial feature. And if you disable this, you won't no longer have this tab in the library that we will have in a second. In the 6-dot menu, you won't have these skills section show up, and also via slash or add in the agent, you can't access skills anymore. Now, definitely you could bypass this if you want to. You could just create a database for yourself in there, add entries, which are skills, and then just add mention the pages in the agent, and voila, you bypassed this. So I would just leave this on, because I also think that skills are very beneficial. Then we have allow local skill downloads. So members could download their skills to, or any skill to, their computer. For example, if they want to use a specific skill for Codex, Cloud Code, or whatever. In a second, you will also see how to do this and everything. But for now, just keep in mind, this is something that exists and the setting is here. Then under here, the last thing, default workspace skills. Here you can choose up to 50 skills to install by default for workspace members. So if you have a new member or for existing members, you can choose up to 50 skills that are installed by default for them. Now let's actually do this. Let's click on add default skill. And in our case, we have 2 skills. We have a skills for writing a description and a skill for timestamps. Let's say timestamps should be a default skill. Then we can click on timestamps, can click out here. Now in this case, I get this exclamation mark because the skills database is on a materials page and this is a private page, so no one else would have access to this. On my other account where I have more than these skills, I have this in a database, I have this in a general team space where everyone has access to. So just ignore this. This is because it's a demo account and I have the page and the database as the subpage in my private section. But what you can see here is you can see the skill, you can see the description from the description property, you can see in what database this is, and you can also open this from here. You can remove it from the default if you say, I don't want members to actually have this skill anymore as default. And then you can configure this. And configure is really interesting. The first thing that you have is you can add a description if you want to. And this will just open the entry in the database, and there in the description property, you can write this. Then we have use automatically. For this, I need to add a description. So let me add this. And I just say this skill adds timestamps to the YouTube description. Now that we did this, we could say use automatically. If I turn this on, the Notion agent will automatically refer the skill if the agent thinks that it is useful or if it could do the job at least partially. So it can reference and use the skill automatically. I personally have to say I don't want this. I want to have full control on when and whether or not I use a skill. Next, that we covered this in the settings, let's move on to the library. And here in the library, we can now see that there are more skills. And these are the default skills that are not in a database. They are currently on a page. If you saw my previous video, which I mentioned at the start, there I told you that all the skills, I think also this one, should live in the skills database. So there I dragged these skills in the skills database, and then also skills database would show up here. Then what else you can do here is you can add a new skill from here. You can filter. You can filter by created by, and you can filter for specific databases. So the skills that you see here can come from different databases. That's because, yes, all the skills that will be, or because we turn the database skills into an actual skills database. By default, every page that you add to it will automatically be a skill and show up here. But you can also, and this is something we could already do before, for every page via the three-dot menu, select turn into skill. And then also pages that are not in a database could show up here, like these four. Then for every skill in the enabled for me section, you can see the description if there is one. This is the skill that we added. You can see the database created by, how often this got used. And then this is something I will cover in a second. And you can see these are the default skills, and you can see which of the skills are the workspace skills. So skills that are by default installed for every member. Now that we covered everything, let's go over here and we can say enable for me or also disable. Now let's say I don't want the description anymore to be enabled for me. I can disable it. And if I would now go over to discover, it will show up here because this is a skill I haven't enabled, but I could, if I want to, then I could go over here and say enable, and it would reappear over here. Besides that, in this setting button here, you can also from here toggle on use automatically. You can say show skill, and here you can say show the skill in the chat. If I would toggle timestamps off in the chat, if I go here and I write, I will find no skill because I turned this off. If I say in the chat and now I write slash, it will show up again. This is also applicable if you say on a page. If I toggle this off and then in the 6-dot menu, this wouldn't show up. If I click here, it would show up here. Last but not least, here in this menu, you also from here have the option to say disable for me, and then you would disable this and it will no longer show up here. Now, one thing I forgot to show you is, and this is because this is only available in the Notion desktop app, not on the web, is this download for local agents option. So here I have my skills, and let's say I want to download this skill, for example, for Claude Code. Then if I click on download for local agents, now I just did this 2 minutes ago, you have the option to instantly select one of them, and then you can download this skill. Then you have download for default local agents, and in this case it's cursor, and that's because here in this setting I can select which of them is or are my defaults. In this case I would go for Claude Code, then I would save, and now if I say download for default local agents, you will see it instantly uses Claude Code. This is the one that I forgot to show you. Now for this chapter, let's do this as a little lightning round, because there are 3 small updates in regard to models. The first one is that the model picker changed. If we go, for example, here into an agent that I recently built as a tester for a video, you can say the model picker changed, and this is the case for custom agents. So here this is grouped under Claude, then we have Gemini, we have GPT, so ChatGPT, we have SpaceX AI, open models, we have older models here. Then we have a new option for the effort. Let's say, for example, it's not available for every model, but we have GPT 5.6 Soul. I could go for different effort. I could say no thinking. I could go, for example, for medium, which is the default, and I can go for max effort. And depending on what you choose, this will also affect your credit usage. So now here for the model, you can do this even more granular, so you can choose a model and then also manipulate the effort. Last but not least, the third thing, which is also here in the section, is what to do if a model is not available, so a fallback behavior. Let's say, for example, this agent is triggered, but the model that you have by default, in this case GPT 5.6 Soul, is not available. What to do? Here we have 3 different options. We can say use a backup model. In this case, I don't have an idea what model will actually get used, but this will be a model which is in comparison the same strength. Then the second option that we have available is wait until available. Then this agent will wait for triggering until this model is available again. Now, I haven't actually had the case where a model is not available, so I don't have an idea on how often this happens and for how long. But if you have an agent that needs to be triggered like instantly, this would probably not be the best option. Then I would use this, but this is an option that is available. And we have fail in case of the model not being available. So if this is not available, the agent will fail. So now you're up to date with Notion news, but I actually didn't feature a recent news that solved a problem with a workaround that everyone had to build. If you want to know more, watch this video over here. Stay consistent. See you next time.